Kelly.
Hi.
Now, this is Kelly Rhodes, and she's been our intern here at the Studio Gardens for the summer. And Kelly, what are you working on today?
I'm working on training a standard.
Now, what exactly is a standard?
A standard is a type of topiary that is a single globe of foliage atop a long woody stem.
We've got some examples here of different standards that we've got out here at the gardens. And what plants are there?
Well, we have a lantana right here, and this is a myrtle, and a rosemary, and pentas, which is what I'm going to use today.
Well, neat. Is there a specific type of plant that you need to use for a standard?
Yes, you want to look for a perennial plant that can develop a strong woody stem. Many plants like the lantana and coleus can be trained as standards, and they're beautiful standards, but we generally think of them as annual bedding plants.
Okay, so those are perennials that we would need to move in for the winter then.
Yes.
If we do this. Okay. Now, what are you looking for when you're picking out a specific plant to make a standard out of?
You want to look for a plant that has a long, straight stem that is strong and will be make a good trunk for your topiary. And we can look here at this pentas and find that it has a wonderful long stem that will support to make a standard.
Okay. Now, do you want to pick one that's already woody, or do you want to get one that's more herbaceous?
Many plants will not be very well manipulated as they get older. The pentas is a little more pliable, but you want to find a pretty young plant that hasn't begun to develop bark down on the lower stem yet.
Okay. Well, good. So then, what supplies do you need besides the plant?
Well, we want to get a pot that's an appropriate size to the plant, and as the standard grows larger, you can repot it. We also need something for support, and I've chosen a bamboo here. We need some hand pruners to cut away some of the lower branches, nylons, strips of nylons to support the stem to the stake, and a razor blade.
Okay. And then, once we've got all our supplies gathered, what steps do we need to follow?
Okay. We start by inserting our stake into the pot close to the stem very carefully so we don't damage too many of the roots in the pot. Get that in nice and sturdy.
And about how deep do you want to put that? As far as you can?
As far as you can into the pot. The plant may pull on it as it grows and tries to go off in different directions, and so you'll want that stake to be in there very firmly.
Okay.
Okay. The next step is to select one long straight stem. We will tie this branching pattern to the stake to make it our trunk.
You want me to hold that while you do that?
I'd like that, thank you.
Okay. So, now the nylons actually work very well. Why do you prefer those to maybe, say, wire or some string?
Nylons are soft and they're flexible, and as the plant grows, the nylons will not girdle it. They'll allow it to stretch, and they'll allow the trunk to grow outward and breathe. They're a much better choice than something that isn't very flexible.
Okay. And most people can find those pretty readily around their home.
Yes, you can just find old nylons and cut them into strips.
So, now these strips are, I'd say, about 4 inches long?
Yes, they were actually just cross sections.
Okay.
And then I cut them from there to make a single strip.
Okay.
Okay. We have the bottom supported, and now one last tie at the top. You want to tie these kind of loosely so that it allows the plant to grow, but firm enough that the plant can't blow away or stretch.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll start from the base and begin to cut away the branches that have grown.
On the side here?
Okay.
Now you're basically cutting them fairly close to the stem.
We are, and then I'll come back with a razor blade and shave away the stump that is left there.
Okay. Now, about how tall do you want this plant to be? Does it make a difference on the type of plant that you use?
Yes, the larger leaved plants generally need to grow taller before you start forming the standard. Like this pentas, several feet tall, and that's what we would want to do here. Let this grow up higher to the top of the stake, and that's when we would end the upward growth. So we'll snip away these. Now, normally we would want to leave just a few main branches left at the top to give food to the plant as it grows up. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off.
Because you want it taller?
Yes, we do. We want to show that this is what you want your standard to look like.
Okay.
Now, these lower leaves can be left on to supply food to the top, and so we won't cut those away until the plant has reached its full height, and we begin to let it branch out.
Okay.
And for these areas where I cut away stems, we will want to just carefully shave that off so that it doesn't produce a kind of an irregular looking trunk.
Okay. So you just kind of go back through and...
Very carefully. When the plant develops some bark, you want to be real careful in shaving this off so that you don't rub away that bark or damage the stem at all. The plant's young, so that's what we would do there.
Okay.
Now when the plant reaches the desired height, we are going to just cut away that top, and it'll allow the bottom to begin or the globe to begin to grow. You will get more branching here. Just snip them away and shave them off a little bit if you need to.
Okay.
And eventually you'll have a beautiful globe shape, and you can just keep this bare down at the bottom and pinch back and prune to make this gorgeous tree-like shape.
That is pretty. So basically, once you've got your globe established, just kind of pruning it in that globe shape ever so often will help keep it compact then?
Yes, it will, and you do need to keep that compact. If it gets too large, the wind can catch it and it will just blow it right over or even break the stem.
Okay. Well, Kelly, we appreciate you showing this. We've had a lot of people ask how to make these, so thanks a lot.
You're welcome.